Okay, it looks like I'm live. Oh, there we go. There, the light kicked in. All right, you guys, Kristen Brown here. And today I want to talk to you about a topic that was asked of me through one of my subscribers. And it came, sorry, I'm messing with my microphone. It came through one of our other live videos and or live broadcasts. And I thought, okay, I'm going to set this in my brain. I'm going to put it in my queue because this is a big topic. And the reason why I'm doing this in a live broadcast and not in a short video form is because there's a lot to unpack here. All right. Like, I don't think I could possibly do it all in an 8 to 10 minute video. So, being someone who is a big law of attraction person, I was before I even knew what it was. And then once I knew what it was, I was like, that just makes perfect sense. Being that person, I know a lot about a law of attraction. In fact, I could probably say I could be a law of attraction coach. And that's not my calling. That's not what I want to do. But law of attraction, energy, really what it boils down to, plays a massive part in my coaching business. And really that's what I am doing with my clients is I am helping them get back in an energetic space where they can attract things into their life that they want. So, thank you for the person who reached out to me and asked for this topic because this is having a relationship in our life, someone who is just amazing and that we can flow through life with. I call those people a lifer. Okay. And the reason is because the word soulmate, when it first came on the scenes back, I couldn't even tell you when, maybe 70s, 80s, when I heard about it anyway. The term soulmate is implying that there's just one person, soulmate, one little person that is going to dot all the I's and cross all the T's of your life. And you got to find that one person. All right. So think about that. Think about how daunting that is. Right now, what is there? 7.9 billion people on this planet, and you got to find that needle in a haystack. Okay, that's not how it works. Again, there's a lot to unpack here. So you guys are going to have to sit down, grab yourself a cup of tea, got myself some water, got my little coffee, and we're going to have a conversation. So hopefully you will take some notes and you will stay for the entirety of this. And if not, you can always watch it on the replay because I share all of my lives on my channel. Okay, so a soulmate, when we say I want to attract my soulmate, I think by now people are starting to understand that we just don't have one soulmate. Okay. Because soulmates can be our friends, soulmates can be our children, soulmates can be our parents. All right. All a soulmate implies is somebody that came to us from the other side, from the ethers, from across the veil, and we already knew them. Okay. And not only that, each and every one of us on this planet are children of God. So we are connected already. We are one. All right. That's why I refer to you guys all the time as soul siblings, because that's what we are. We're soul siblings. So when people talk about a soul mate, there might be this recognition that we have when we meet people. And a lot of times we think, oh my God, that's it. I have this recognition. You guys know what I'm talking about. Give me a little clap or comment when you're watching this, because there's that feeling that we can have where we meet somebody and we're like, I know you, or I knew you before, or I don't know why there's this familiar feeling with you, but something feels really super right about you. And I don't know what it is. But that doesn't necessarily equate that they are our lifer long term partner. Okay. It could mean that we were in a past life with them, that we knew them on the other side, and we're just recognizing them in this plane of existence. And sometimes we have soul contracts with people, so on the other side. So what that means is we have these little contracts with this person that when we come to this earth, we're going to experience something together. And when that person comes in, there might be like this little nudging feeling of, I recognize you. Okay. And that means that this person decided to join with you to have an experience here on this earth. But does that necessarily equate to that they are your lifer, that they are the person that is going to, walk with you the distance, is going to slide into home base with you right at the end and be there for you and all that? No, that doesn't necessarily signify that, because there's a lot of moving parts here to us coming to earth. So when I say soulmate, I did put that in my thumbnail, attract your soulmate, because that's the words that people understand. And I want people to join into this talk, into this talk today so that they can really get a clean grasp of what's going on. I love talking about this stuff. I love teaching this stuff. I have manifested some crazy things out of nowhere on purpose and by default. And I'm going to get into that whole default mechanism shortly, as that plays a large part in this that has something to do with energy. So, first, I want to talk about what does it mean to have an ideal partner? What is it that you're actually looking for? And this is one of the first tips because a lot of times people want to manifest love because they feel like it is something outside of themselves. And if they can just find that one person that's going to make them feel loved and whole and accepted and wonderful and all of these things, then life is going to get better. It's important to understand that there is no one out there, you guys, and this is a hard truth. And this is some of the things that I have to say that people are like, don't tell me that. But there is no one person that's there to save you. That's something that you have to do for yourself. It is all about you going within, cleaning up your own inner world, and learning to become your own best friend, advocate, protector, lover. I don't mean necessarily physically, unless that's your thing. What I'm saying is that it's about you returning to the unconditional love within yourself. So when your person comes in, there is not all this desperation and neediness and attachment to them filling up the voids inside your own soul or spirit. Okay. Nobody can save us. Now, so many of us want that one person. I remember back in my 20s, I was thinking that there's going to be that one person out there and everything's going to be great. We're going to ride off into the sunset together. There's never going to be any problems. We're going to have this joyful and amazing life. But it doesn't happen that way because it's important to understand that you are going to, and I'll get into this very deeply, but you are going to attract your ideal partner to you, and that person is going to have flaws. So, this doesn't mean attracting your ideal partner to you. That doesn't automatically equate into we're never going to have a problem. Okay. Because relationships are designed to grow us and they are designed to show us ourselves, and they are highly beneficial on this path. What we're really looking for is a person who is willing to go the distance with us, that loves us, and that we can support each other equally as we grow. Okay. A lot of times people attract someone to them and they're on an energetic level of vibration when they attract to each other. And it's great. I mean, they're feeling all this amazingness. But then as time, like, and you thought they were your soulmate or your ideal partner, your dream partner. But as life went on, that relationship started to deteriorate. And you're like, what happened? I was so in love with them. I thought they were my perfect person, yada, yada. But what happened is that one person grew and the other person didn't. And then there becomes this vast disconnect between the two people. And then you start to feel like, was I crazy that thought they were the bee's knees back in the day? No, you absolutely weren't crazy. And here's something else I can tell you is that we can have several soulmates throughout our lifetime. But that is not the purpose of this talk. The purpose of this talk is that you are looking for your one ideal partner, your dream partner, your soulmate, whatever it might be. And I'm going to help you get there because I've gotten there myself. And I love the stories that I'm going to tell and the stories of my clients because I have a course where I bring people through. It is called Self-Love to Soulmate Masterclass. And the reason is because the self-love portion of this is helping you reset your energetic vibration so that you become magnetic to that person that you want naturally. Okay. And so we do it. The course has 6 modules. And by module 6, we are actually calling in your ideal partner. And I'm here to tell you that the majority of the people that I have brought through that course have now since called me back and have said, I'm engaged, I'm married, I found the person, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And they're so excited and they're calling to thank me because they're like, I cannot thank you enough because I did not know what was blocking me. I did not know why I kept attracting the wrong type of people over and over and over again. And many times when people finally reach out to me, they're just sick and tired of being sick and tired and they're looking for another way. And the people that are open-hearted and open-minded, they are the ones that actually start to excel with this because they feel the truth of what we're talking about and they're willing to put in the effort and work to set themselves up to win. Okay, so I want to first say that the fact that you have not yet attracted your ideal partner, your forever love, is not because you are not destined for that. Okay, wipe that out of your belief system, wipe that off the slate. It has nothing to do with destiny. Okay, you're not destined to have true love or to have your forever partner. A lot of times people are walking around because they've had such experiences throughout their life, their reality is looking a certain way that they're like, "Oh, this is just not in the cards for me." That is absolutely 100% not true. The universe loves you. The universe has your back. You are one with the universe. And guess what? You are a co-creator with God slash universe. Okay. That is our job here. But what we have to do first is we have to get ourselves energetically aligned in order to receive this person because there's a certain degree of energy. We're not, oh, let me say this real quick. I was going to say, we're not, okay. We are not out there just saying, I just want this, I'm calling it my forever love, but there's nothing that there's no attributes that we're thinking about. We know what it is that we want. And it's important that we get really radically clear on that, which I'll get to that point in a second. But the thing is that we can attract people to us by default all the time. But it has to do with the level of energetic vibration we are at that time. So you may have attracted someone to you at that time. And just because it doesn't work out, or you keep attracting the same type of people that are not working for you, that doesn't mean you're not destined. You are absolutely destined. Okay. You are a child of God. You are here to thrive. I actually have a quote on my bulletin board that you guys can't see. And it says it's a quote from Jesus, which I have not read the Bible. That is not my gig, but I absolutely think Jesus is the bee's knees. And the quote says, "It is our Father's good pleasure to give us his kingdom." And what this means is that the universe is yours. Your dreams and desires are yours. Ask and it is given. It's not a question about whether you are worthy of it. Okay. So the first thing that I want to mention to you guys is that it's really important to get clear on exactly what you want this person to be. Now, I say be because I didn't say look like, because I'll get into that in a second. But it's about getting radically clear on what it feels like to be with this person. Okay. Why do I say feel like? Because energy comes from feelings. All right. That is, energy is what the universe responds to, and that comes by the way we feel. Okay. It's how it is the vibration that we are sending out into the universe. So, to get radically clear about what you want this ideal partner to present like. Now, the reason why I don't get really into a lot of looks about this, like they're this tall, they do this, they do that, they do this, they do that, is because there could be your ideal partner out there, but if you say I has to have brown hair, what if he has blonde hair? Okay. What if your ideal partner is absolutely amazing, but he has blonde hair? Are you gonna say no to that? So I like to leave that open-ended to the universe. And I love to say attractive to me. Okay. You're not going to end up with somebody, your ideal partner is not going to not be attractive to you because that's part, we are animalistic in nature and we are only attracted to what we are attracted to. So you're not going to attract your ideal partner and then you're going to be like, yeah, but, I have to kind of look past the looks. So part of attracting, putting it out there and making your list, so to speak, of what you want your ideal partner to be and to present like is to say attractive to me. That's one of the best things that I did because I was like, oh my God, I have to attract somebody to me. I gotta, how tall are they? What their fingernails look like? What their toes look like? It was way too much. Right. So I just said, you know what? I can sum this all up by saying attractive to me. And if you look back in your past relationships, I'm sure they were attractive to you. Okay. But what's most important is that we really focus on the attributes and traits of this person. Okay. We have to focus on things like I want them to be generous. I want them to be kind. I want them to be loving. I want them to be affectionate. I want them to um, be ambitious, to be driven, to be joyful, to be funny, whatever it might be to you. And I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is they make a really, really small list. I remember a friend of mine that went through a horrific divorce. Her husband had done some heinous things, and she kept saying, I just want someone to be nice to me. I just want someone who's going to be nice to me. And she attracted this man in. And for all intents and purposes, he looked like he would be a great mate. Well, guess what? He didn't want to commit. He had all kinds of trauma issues that he hadn't dealt with yet. The list went on and on and on. But guess what she got? She got somebody that was attractive to her and who was nice to her. Even though he had all these things going on and he was never going to be her lifer, he was never going to be her soulmate, he was nice to her. So she actually attracted this someone that is nice to me, but that's all she asked for. Okay. So it's really important that we really get into the feeling of what this person feels like. Like when we're sitting at dinner with friends and we're like, if my person was here right now, how would this be feeling? I would feel safe next to them. They would be easy to be around. People like them. They're kind, they're generous, they're loving, they're funny. They tell fun stories or whatever it might be, but you really get into the feeling of what it feels like to be next to that person. I remember doing this driving to the grocery store. This is before I was with my current husband now. And I remember driving to the grocery store in my mom van in the evening. It was in the dark. And I remember picturing my ideal partner sitting in the passenger seat of my car and feeling what it felt like to actually go grocery shopping with this person, that he was excited to go. He wasn't in a rush. He just loved being with me. He actually enjoyed grocery shopping. He brought new ideas to food purchases and recipes and all these type of things. And I really sat, got to itch, you guys. I really sat in the feeling, what is going on with the dew here, um, of what it felt like to be with him. I marinated myself in that. And here's the thing, you guys, a lot of times people think we got to stay in that essence and feeling all day long. We don't. Huge law of attraction expert Mike Dooley says 1 to 4 minutes a day, 1 to 4 minutes a day of creative visualization attached with an elevated emotion, and that's enough. That is going to send a shockwave out into the universe. Okay. So, what do I mean by 1 to 4 minutes of creative visualization? Exactly what I did when I was driving in the car driving in the car to the grocery store. I imagined my ideal partner next to me, and I imagined what that felt like and how it was to be with this person, and energetically how it felt to be in proximity. And then I dropped it. I pulled up into my parking spot at the store and I went into my shopping and went home. All right. But I did this periodically just in my day to day life. All right. I didn't like, oh my God, I have to do this because I need you guys to know this. And if you take anything from this talk right now, I want you to understand that desperation is the polar opposite energy of what you want to be in. And it's going to take radical self awareness to be very, very honest with yourself and to know when you are desperate. Because if you're like, I call it panting. I got to get this thing. I call it panting. If you are in a state of panting for whatever it is that you want to have in your life, whether it's a job, whether it's career, whatever it might be, and you're in that desperate state, you are actually, that state is telling you that you don't have it, and it's going to be hard to get. Okay. There's just a dense energy around that. And guess what? That is not the energy that universe responds to. Universe responds to gratitude for it coming in advance, pure presence, and being happy and joyful now. It's truly about letting go of outcome and when this is going to come to you. And I didn't say if, I said when, because it is your birthright to have whatever it is that you want in this life on earth. You can have any experience that you want. All we simply have to do is align ourselves to the energy of receiving that experience. Okay. Um, clear. Okay. Don't focus on looks. That's it. Here's something that this is really important to me. And in hindsight, this is something that I wish everybody would add to their list of what they would like their ideal partner to look like, to present like. And that is that they take radical responsibility for their own behavior. They own their shit, okay? Now people are like, "Oh my gosh, I would never even think of that." Let me tell you something. Relationships are dead in the water if people cannot take responsibility for their piece of the relationship. And I know this sounds like, "Oh my god, Kristen, this is supposed to be, like, really fun and lighthearted and whatever." This is fun and lighthearted. I am giving you something that is going to help your relationship because even when you attract that ideal partner and you are committed and you are solid and you are loyal and you do love each other, guess what? 2 different personalities are joining together. 2 different backstories, 2 different sets of ideals, 2 different experiences, and likely unhealed trauma because we all have it. So, as you work through the relationship, there might be these things that present in the relationship. But when you have a person that has great self awareness and they are willing to take radical responsibility for their piece of the equation and work on it, that is one of the most important things that you can ever put on your manifestation list, what it is, the ideal traits of your person. Okay. Now I talked a lot about feelings. Okay. I think it's Andy Dooley. I think it's Mike Dooley's brother that says feelings first, manifestation second. Now I could use that as my own words because I do believe that and adopt that, and it's not trademarked or anything like that. But I really like to give credit to people when I remember where certain things come from. So I want you to really think about that. Feelings first, manifestation second. So when we're picturing our ideal partner, all right, we might be just picturing them cognitively, but that's not doing anything. We have to get into the feeling as if we already have it. Like I said, driving to the grocery store, what does it feel like to have that person? By the way, you guys, my current husband loves the grocery store. Funny, it's just funny and ironic because I'll say to him, "Honey, would you go to this, would you be willing to go to the store for me and get," oh, yeah. He loves the grocery store. That's like his favorite thing. So it's just funny and uncanny that that presented this because that was part of my visualization. So it's acting as if you already have this thing, this, whether it's a job, a person, or whatever it might be, it's acting as if. So, what does it feel like to be in the presence of this person all the time? How do they handle when they're upset? What does it feel like to go to a wedding with this person, to have this person be your date? What does it feel like to watch a movie? What type of things do they like? Now, here's the thing is that if you think you want a perfect version of you, chances are you're not going to get that. Okay. Because that is also, there's way too many nuances here when it comes to the law of attraction. If you're going to get an exact person to you, chances are that's not going to happen because, like I said, we are so incredibly unique and individual that there truly is not two people that are identically the same on this planet. There can't be. There is no you. There was no you in the past. There is no you that will ever be in the present. There is only you that is right now living on this earth. When you're done and gone, there is not going to be another you. Okay. So to think that we're going to attract a person that's just like us, not going to happen. But we can attract a person that is going to accent who we are, that is going to actually celebrate us and be so appreciative of who we are. That's something else that you can add to your list. That this person loves being with you, that they appreciate you, that they see you. See, these are things that people sometimes bypass. They get really, really simple in what they want. They'll say something like, I want a guy that has money, drives a nice car, is good in bed, and buys me things. Okay. You might attract a guy that is has money, drives a nice car, is good in bed, and buys you things. And is he kind? Is he nice to your family? Does he love your mother? Does he treat your little sister well? Okay, same thing for either sex, either gender. This is not gender specific, okay? You have to really look at the big picture here. Think about spending the lifetime with this person and be willing to take some time every single day to sink into the feelings of it. What does it feel like? And then here's the most important part, let go of when and how. A lot of times we think we want to get our little brain in there. We want to try to make things happen. Mike Dooley calls these the cursed hows. Well, it has to happen by being on a dating website. Well, it has to happen by being in some type of club. Well, it has to happen when I'm at the gym. Well, it has to happen when I'm here. When we have those things, we are actually tying the hands of universe. We are cutting, create, like literally the universe, you guys, the universe, the universe. We're talking about infinite intelligence. We're not talking a little bit of intelligence. We're not talking about an IQ. We're literally talking about infinite intelligence that goes on and on and on and on and on and knows exactly how to orchestrate all the pieces and the parts of all the people in our lives in the world to actually facilitate this meeting. Stand by. I get all my drinks here just in case. Okay, so to think we know how it's going to happen is to limit the universe. Okay, so please don't get caught up in the trap that Match.com isn't working, but so and so had luck on Plenty of Fish. Plenty of Fish isn't working. I don't know all the names of these places, but Tinder or whatever it may be. I got to jump around to all these places, or maybe I just have to have it in all these places. Okay, no, that does not work. What might work for Rebecca and Bob is not going to work for you. Okay, I do have clients. I had a hair client, okay, and she was 6 feet tall. And she wanted a man that, she had all these ideas in mind about how she wanted this man, but she also said, I want him taller than me because she's a tall lady. Guess what happened? Match.com. She attracted this guy in. He's 6'5". They've been literally happily married now for, I'm probably going to say about 10 or 15 years. And I see them on Facebook all the time. This is a former hair client of mine who I just adored, still do. And I'm watching them live their life. But here's the thing. Here's the trick of what she did. She did what she was called to do. She did what was inspiring to do. She didn't get on Match.com because everybody told her to. She didn't get, and I'm not an affiliate with Match at all. This is just the site that I'm talking about right now. But she didn't get on that because she felt like she had to. And this is what I want you guys to hear, like super energetically. She got on there because that felt right to her. Okay. I remember one time for a hot minute, I got on some dating website. It was probably Match. And I'm not going to diss Match because it's nothing to do with that. But what did I attract to me? I attracted 26-year-olds and 70-year-olds. Not kidding. More 26-year-olds than 70-year-olds. It was crazy. And I was in my 40s. But you guys love my little sprouts I got going on. They were, ooh, look at that. They were in my thumbnail too. Um, and I was like, why is this happening to me? Because guess what? Those are hell no's. I'm not dating a 26-year-old in my 40s and definitely not dating a 7-year-old in my 40s, right? They were hell no's. Why? Because my energy wasn't aligned. I really didn't want to be on there. There was something inside of me that was lonely at that time. It's like, oh, maybe I could find somebody to be my friend to talk to, and just maybe I'll find my soulmate and my ideal partner. So I signed up and I joined it, and that happened. And I went, I know why this is happening because I know law of attraction. I am not in the alignment of finding somebody. So the key first is to truly get into the feels of what you're looking for. But the most important thing is to let go of the when and the how. Part of any sort of manifestation that I ever do in my life is having an unwavering faith that this thing can happen. Unwavering. Anytime I've manifested something that's big to me, I didn't question it. Okay. I was like, this is coming no matter what, because the universe is abundant. I can have this. I wasn't asking for something crazy like being an NBA basketball player. I was, talking about things that I really wanted to experience in my life and I wanted to have, and I thought would be fun and exciting and whatever. And it was in those moments where I was in unwavering faith coupled with surrender, letting go, letting God. Okay. If you hear anything from this, unwavering faith, know what you want. Okay. Got to know what you want. Got to know what you're going to feel like when you have that thing. Okay. Then you got to know what you want, then unwavering faith, and then let go, let God. That's the key right there. So why is it that it takes some time for things to get to us? Because we're junky in one of these areas. Okay. Maybe we don't really know what we want. Now, here's an interesting sidebar here. I know people that have wanted their ideal partner. They wanted this relationship, but way deep inside, they were afraid of losing their freedom. because they had done so much work on themselves and they were a great catch and amazing people. And I'm saying people because I know several times that this has come up. And they weren't going to attract somebody to them because in their mind, freedom meant no relationship. But they didn't know that yet. That was a false limiting beliefs that was back here in their unconscious. So they're like, I want my freedom, I want my freedom, I want my freedom, I want my love, I want my love, I want my freedom, I want my partner, freedom, partner, freedom, partner, freedom, partner. Guess what? They were out of alignment. That's fractured energy. Okay. So what we worked on together is this person attracted a person to them that gave them freedom, that allowed them to be free because they were in relationships before this that were very constricting and very controlling. So the thought their brain equated relationship to restriction, relationship to controlling. See what I'm saying? Like their brain, that's what the amygdala does. It tries to alert us to future problems coming to us. So they had this internal block that I want to really want a relationship, but oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do anything I want to do. I said, how about attracting a person to you that gives you that freedom? And they were like, are you kidding me? It's that easy. Yeah, it's that easy. But you got to get into the feelings of that. All right. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Oh, my next point, clear out limiting beliefs, which is what I was just talking about. There is some talk in the law of attraction world that if you have limiting beliefs, that you can just mantra your way through them, or you can just feel your way through them, and that could be true. That could be true that you could do that. However, how it's worked for me, and I'm always honest about my experiences because my experiences are not the only experiences. Everybody else has, there's no new story. Okay, as Byron Katie says, there's no new story. We all experience similar things. There's different characters, there's different scenarios, but there's no new story, no new emotion, no new feeling. And I know that there was times when I was trying to attract something into my life. I really wanted the experience of this, okay, X, whatever X would be, but I could feel this resistance inside of me. I was like, God, I really want that, but I don't feel like I'm in alignment with it. Like there was something inside of me that was inhibiting me from actually calling that to me from, and I'm saying calling meaning magnetically attracting that to me. And I was like, what is stopping me? What is stopping me? And I had to look around. I had to talk about it. I had to dig deep. I had to find that limiting belief that was unconscious because somehow it embedded into my programming and I didn't know it was there. But you guys hear me talk about this a lot, that our programming drives our thoughts and our behaviors. So I was unconsciously, energetically vibing a certain something because I had a block involved. And when through talking to people, through like really digging and going, what does this feel like? What's stopping me? What's my fear? What's my limiting belief? I would find that thing. As soon as I found that thing, then I could dispel it because it's a fear. And fears aren't true. Fears are lies. Just like I'm going to lose my freedom being in a relationship, that was actually a fear and a lie that the ego had concocted to this person to keep this person small and stuck and safe. Okay. But it was stopping them from truly drawing to them what they wanted because it was unconsciously, I call it unconsciously driving the train. That's the words I say. It's driving the train, it's the mechanism behind your behavior and action. So when you can identify a limiting belief, you can turn that thing around. This might take a minute. So here's what's super interesting, you guys. This has nothing to do with relationships, but it has to do with me having a limiting belief about something. So you guys know I had a massive fear of public speaking that was really, really debilitating, where I'd take an F in school before I would actually get up in front of a class, or I just get up in front of a class and say, I didn't do the work, and I go sit down. I mean, I was not going to, even that was terrible for me. So as I went through my healing work, I had, my awakening to my self-worth, and I continued to grow myself, and I was on fire to share this message with the world because I wanted people to heal. I wanted people to have this amazing experience. We don't have to suffer in life, you guys. We don't have to. It's optional. Okay. We can heal ourselves in a way that we can actually raise our vibration and we can attract everything that's wonderful to us. So when I became I guess an influencer or a blogger, whatever it was, or whatever it is that I'm doing, you guys, content creator is what we say a lot. When I became a content creator and a book writer and all these type of things, an author, there was a part of me that would never claim public speaking. And the reason why, even though I'm past my public speaking fear, that's gone. All right. But I'd still probably maybe get a little bit nervous if I got in front of a crowd. But hey, Sherry used to throw up every time before she went on stage. So I'm not worried about that. But that is gone. But there was a part of me that would not claim public speaker, wouldn't claim it, wouldn't write it on anything, any of my bios, nothing. I would never, ever, ever claim it. And I was like, Kristen, why aren't you claiming public speaking? And I went into it and I was like, because I'm afraid, my brain said, if you claim public speaker, this means you're going to have to give a TED talk. You're going to have to be on a stage in front of 5,000 people. You're going to have to do all those things. And guess what, you guys? That's not my dream. It doesn't mean it's bad or wrong for anybody else, but it's not my dream. Would I do it if I was asked to do it? I probably would. Okay. But is it my ultimate dream? No. So my brain was saying, don't claim public speaker because that means you're going to go down this path. And that wasn't the path I wanted. I wanted this path. I wanted this path. Right. What am I doing right now, you guys? I'm public speaking. So one day, I think this was just year, I think it was like in January, I said, I am a public speaker. Like I'm already public speaking. I public speak on the Wisdom app all the time. I'm live now, and that's live. I'm live now. I make videos, blah, 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 blah. I give groups. I'm a freaking public speaker. And it doesn't mean that my dream is to go be on a stage of 5,000 people. I'm just a public speaker. Do you see what I mean, you guys? And something broke off of me in that moment, and I stepped even further closer to my dream because this little nagging belief was holding me back. So it's important to me that what I'm saying, it's important in the way I teach LOA, law of attraction, that you locate those limiting beliefs, because if they are unconsciously driving your train, then they're going to be needed to be brought up for healing and to dispel that thing. So if you're walking around wanting this ideal partner, wanting this person to come into your life, but the side of you says, I'm really not good for it. I'm not pretty enough for it. I don't have enough money. All the limiting beliefs that we could have. I don't have the right body. And people get so hung up on the physical body, you guys, right? My butt's not big enough. My boobs aren't big enough. My biceps aren't big enough. I'm too short. I'm too tall. I'm too thin. I'm too fat. I'm too, whatever it might be. Everybody gets caught up in these things. Doesn't matter. I'm here to tell you right now that your ideal partner is going to think you are perfect exactly the way you're shaped. And I've seen it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again ad nauseum. In fact, I saw a TikTok yesterday that substantiated that. It was some cute guy. He got up there and he was like, all right, you guys, all you women that think you're supposed to look like this and follow society standards, I'm here to tell you it's a big lie. He's like, you are beautiful and perfect just like you are. And there is so many different tastes in people. Okay. So if you think you have to go get the boob job or work out at the gym, if I just get thinner, I just lose 10 more pounds and I'm going to attract my ideal partner. And chances are, this is interesting, chances are, if you're focusing on your body as your value, you're going to attract someone who focuses on your body as your value. They're not going to see your kindness, your lovingness, your givingness, your loyalty, blah, blah, blah. They're going to want eye candy. Okay. This is really interesting because I've worked with somebody who is a millionaire, and this person has no problem. It's such a loving, 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 beautiful spirit. Okay. But he inwardly thought his value was his money. And let me tell you something, this guy is the bee's knees. He's beautiful. He's kind. He's loving. He's all the things. Okay. But internally, he thought the amount of money he made is what made him valuable. So guess who he attracted? Takers. Women that wanted money. That's all they wanted. They didn't care about his heart. They didn't care about his soul. They, moved in and said, I'm not working anymore. That's what they did, because they didn't give a crap about the human. And when I tell you that this guy is like one of the most beautiful human beings in my life right now, I'm not kidding. And he kept attracting that because he thought his value was his money. Okay. But we've worked together on that. And he now knows what his true value is. So this is what I'm trying to say, you guys, about this is why I wanted to make this a live and not a quick video, because I want you to get your questions answered. I want, and you please feel free, you guys. I see people are in the room. I don't know who's here. I wish you guys would tell me so I could say, hey, hi, say a little something down here. Tell me where you're from. I would love if you guys started commenting and let's get some dialogue going here. If you have any questions, please send your questions because they help me to answer them. But I wanted to go in depth about this because there's a lot to unpack. And the reason why your ideal partner may not have come in yet could be several reasons, right? Like I said, if you only want a nice guy, someone to be nice to you, then that's all you're going to get. But is that your ideal partner? Probably no. You're focusing on your value being your money, your body, your whatever, your stature in life, your job, your car, your house, whatever you think that, externally, extrinsically makes you valuable, then you're going to attract someone that wants that because that's what you're vibing. Here's my value. And someone goes, oh, I want someone with that. And then you attract that exact person to you. Okay. All right, let's keep going. It's important to know to be in a good place emotionally, spiritually, and mentally to call in your ideal partner. You've cleaned up your energy. Oh God, my thing did this again. You guys know this. All right, let me try this. I'm gonna go back. Woo. Oh, that works. Okay, that's my new thing because I used to go real close to the camera. If I move too much, my little Logitech camera up there does funky things. Okay, so it's important that you get yourself in a good place. All right, like I said, if you're in a desperation mode, no bueno. Desperation is a bad energy that is going to repel. I use this analogy a lot. If you want something so bad, you're so desperate for it, picture yourself being in a pool, a swimming pool, and there's a red beach ball in there, and you're pounding your way to that beach ball. You're pounding. Well, the waves of the pool are going to push that ball away from you. Not only that, the ball is getting wet as it's spinning through the pool, and just when you touch it, it's going to slip through your hands. All right, it's going to slip through your hands. How do you get that ball to come to you? By relaxing. Two things. You can relax, trust that it's going to come to you, and eventually you're sitting there and all of a sudden the ball just comes and bumps up to you. I've had this like literal experience in my life. Okay, I'm in Arizona. We all have pools here. Swimming's a thing. It's how we cool off. And that can happen to you. Or also, you make your way intentionally and slowly and calmly, knowing that you're going to get the ball, right? And you can reach the ball. See what I'm saying? But anytime we're desperate and are pounding our way to something, we're actually vibing it out of us. So one of the first things we need to do is get rid of desperation. I love to tell this story I'm about to tell you. So stand by. It's one of my favorite law of attraction story. And I actually was telling this, I think, on that live when my subscribers said, hey, can you have a full video on this? So here's my story. I was probably 21 years old. And I was on the mad hunt for a boyfriend. I mean, we're talking like mad hunt. I was like trying to go to all the places, trying to do all the things, trying to have all the hair and do, all the things that I thought, would attract my next boyfriend, my next partner to me. So I was on this mad hunt and it was freaking crickets. No one. It was like the apocalypse. There was no one ever, not even remotely kind of sort of nothing. In fact, no one even looked at me. It was hard because my energy was this. Okay. It was just pushy. It was a beach ball. It was pounding my way to the beach ball. And I remember doing things that actually in hindsight were embarrassing. I'm like, oh my God, I remember showing up at some guy I works with apartment. Now this is before cell phones, but I'd be like, hi, the hell are you doing here? Okay. So when I'm talking about desperate, I was desperate. For some reason, I thought I needed a boyfriend. I can't be single. And I remember the exact moment in time where I was standing in the resort that I was working at. I was a hostess in the fine dining room, and I was standing there in my horrible floor length black polyester skirt. And I was standing there and I remember thinking, why do you need a boyfriend? Why do you want a boyfriend, Kristen? Like, what's that going to do for you? And I was like, I don't. I'm really happy. I'm really having a good time in life. Like, what belief is driving this thing that I need to have a boyfriend? I don't need to have anything. It would be fun. I'd enjoy it, but I don't need that. I'm telling you guys, in that moment, in that divine moment, something broke off of me. Because I was like, I don't really need this. Again, law of attraction before I knew what law of attraction was. Okay. What I did at that moment is I surrendered. I let go. I was like, so what happened is that, like, I don't know, like a week later, the chef at this five-star resort asked me if I wanted to go to this place. It's like it used to be an old stagecoach stop way back in the day. It was called Greasewood Flats. And I had outdoor fire pits and always some type of musician, a guitarist of some kind playing, singing on the microphone, and just really cute old covered wagons. And it was very, it was authentic too. But this little shack that you would go into to buy your drink. So I said, sure, I'll go with you. And I was not attracted to this guy by any means. I think he was to me. I didn't know that at the time. But I'm like, sure, I'll go with you. He's like, yeah, go to this place. I had just turned 21, not just like 5 minutes ago, but I was 21. I was like, okay. So I went with him and I remember going inside the little house thing to buy my beer. And I was standing in line and there's this guy in front of me. And I was looking at him, I'm like, God, how do I know him? Right? Old famous line, what was true. And I was like, how do I know this guy? And I remember thinking, I'm looking at him. I could not place it. Finally, he turned around to talk to somebody like behind me because we were in a line. And I looked at him and I go, you look really familiar to me and I can't place it. And I'm a friendly individual. So that's not like stretching, or I was not being inauthentic. I was being true. I would have said it if it was a girl. And he looks at me and goes, oh, I don't know. I'm like, do I look familiar to you? He's like, no. And I was like, okay, okay. Then he told me his name. And he has a little bit of an unusual name. And I went, oh. So who he was an upperclassman when I was in high school. And I was a sophomore, and coming down these stairs after, I think it was like fourth hour or something, there was like this little courtyard and I would see him walking across the courtyard. And I remember going, that guy's so cute. I think that guy's cute, to my girlfriend. And that was it. I just see him that one time once a day. That's it. So I remembered him because I was like, oh. And also that year when I got my yearbook, I was just flipping through looking at people and I accidentally came across this picture and I go, oh, there's that guy that I think is cute. What's his name? And I was like, oh, wow, he's got a really unusual name. And I was like, I didn't put all that together. So when he said his name to me, I went, that's who it is. I'm like, oh, okay. We went to this high school. And then he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I was younger than you. So you probably don't know who I am. But anyway, cool to meet you. Bye. He got his beer left. I get, oh, hi, Kelly. I'm so glad you're here. Kelly. Ah, Kelly's been one of my homies for a long time. So I left and I went outside and hung out with the guy, whatever his name was. And I remember now the chef, and just sat there and had a beer or two. It was nothing, it was just cool to be at this place. And as I was leaving, so this guy, what worked at a nearby restaurant, and it was like a Western steakhouse. And it had all female waitresses. So he's sitting in like a circle with like 7 women and him. And I just walked to him and I patted him on the shoulder. I was like, it was really nice to meet you. Bye. And he was like, okay, bye. Left. Didn't think anything of it. Skip a weekend. All of a sudden, so skip one weekend, right? The next weekend after that, I am at this place. It was called Rawhide back in the day. It was this huge, I'm in Arizona, you guys, a lot of Western stuff here. It's this huge establishment that looks like an old Western town and had this massive venue. And they had what was called the Parada del Sol, which was a parade we had. I went when I was a youth, we went every year to this parade, and it was in January. And anyway, so it was like their kickoff dance, they call it. And they had all these huge Western artists, country artists come in and sing. So it's a massive like concert. Okay. And so I went there and I somehow I was with some other guy. I don't even know how I met him or what the deal was, but I wasn't really interested in him, but it was okay. It's like one date, that's it. One hit wonder. So I'm at this establishment with this guy and I go into the restrooms, the woman's restroom line. And there's always this big old line, especially in big venues like that. So I'm waiting in line. Go to the restroom. I come out. My date is standing there, and right there is this guy again, the guy from 2 weekends ago. And I was like, oh, how funny. So I mean, in this 3,000, 5,000 people, I don't know how many people are here. I'm not good with that number, but tons of people in this massive arena type thing. And I just patted him and I was like, hey, that's it. Because we were walking by. I'm like, and he was like, oh, hey, that's it. The next weekend, I'm with another guy friend. Okay, this is my friend from high school. Met him in freshman Spanish. And we're at this little bar. It was a Sunday night because they had dollar drinks. And it sounds like I was a lush. I wasn't. But they had this is just what you did at that age, or what I did anyway. So I was at this bar with this guy, and we're just sitting there BSing. And I looked down the bar, and there's that guy again. And I was like, this is crazy. So basically, you guys, 3 weekends out of 4 of a month, I ran across his path. So I made my way down there and I was like, hey. And he looks at me and the first thing he said was, do you want to dance? And I'm like, okay. And so we walked down the dance floor. It was a fast song. And right then the dance floor changed. It turned into a slow song. And the DJ said, now it's that time to get close to that special someone you want to get close to. I'll never forget that, which is really weird. Long story short, he was my first husband. But look what I did. I was on this mad hunt for a boyfriend. Okay, just desperate, desperate, desperate. And I finally said, why do I need this? And I let go. But I didn't kind of let go. I let go so much that I'm just out living my life. I went with the chef to this place. I said, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you," to my first husband, and then it ran into him again. It's like I was just living my life. But do you see, you guys, how universe will orchestrate things for you? They'll put those things into place for you. Kelly, yes, it's been a while. I'm actually off today. Yay, yay. Good for you. I hope you have an amazing, relaxing day. So universe will put things into place for you. Now, you might be thinking, oh, but you divorced him. Okay. Keep in mind, I attracted him from the exact level of energy he was at. All right. We were a great match. We matched very well. We meshed very, very well as partners in the beginning. But as life went on, relationships went on, I don't want to get into the details of that because he is still my friend and we won't talk about that. But we grew apart. We were just no longer compatible and it didn't work. And now he's moved on and he has a person he's more compatible with, and I have a person that I'm more compatible with, and it worked out. So this is what I'm saying in the beginning of this broadcast when I said, I don't want you to get hung up that there's one person, just one. That's one. And if that passes, then what? Then there's no one else. Which brings me up to another point. This is such an important point. All right, you guys, a lot of times people, thanks Kelly. She said, wow, and yes, with the hands. A lot of times we'll meet somebody like that guy. Like when the chef asked me to go out, I could be like, oh, this guy asked me out. Is this him? Is this him? Is this him? He's okay. He's nice to me, but is this him? See what I'm saying? Like we can be, we can start to try to think this is what the person is because it's the next person that came in. Or I could have thought the guy that I had that one date with, I don't even know how I met that guy. Or I don't even know his name. It was in and out, like in a breath of air. He was in and out. Um, but he just wasn't it. But with each of those guys, it was like, yeah, I'll go and do this thing with you, but not feeling it. And then with the other guy, yeah, I'll go this with you, but I'm not feeling it. But for some reason, when I met my first husband, there was a vibe. There was a vibe there. Like I could tell this was different. All right. So it's very important that you're willing to pass up good for great. And you're willing to pass up meh for marvelous. If you're not like so excited, you're like, wow, and I keep unwrapping this package of this person and they're amazing and I'm having so much fun and they treat me well and there's no red flags and this is like really going well, then that's probably your person. But if you have to make the square peg fit into the round hole, you're forcing and you're in desperation. Okay? Remember, desperation, the worst possible energy you can have when you're trying to manifest your ideal partner. Now, this is going to lead me to my second story that I love is the manifestation of my current husband. So after I went through my tsunami, you guys know all about that, like, hell on earth for me. And then I was single again at 42 and had to do a lot of inner work. I had to clean up a lot of work inside of myself first because this is what I mean by you got to get yourself into a good emotional state first. I was not in a good emotional state. For a person who absolutely adores men, loves the company of men, is comfortable in the company of men, being I grew up with 4 brothers and a neighborhood full of boys, and I'm a little tomboyish myself, I had found myself in a space that I was like hated men. I was like, ugh. Hold on, Ruby, trying to trust myself and not repeat patterns. DV survivor. Ruby, can you tell me what DV, does that mean divorce? Because I'm not sure what DV survivor means. Girlfriend, I'm feeling tears in my eyes, which is an indicator that you're on track. Okay. Anytime that I get like a burning sensation behind my eyes, I have to share that with the person because that means you're on track. This trying to trust yourself, you're closer than you think. I'm intuitively reading you. Oh, domestic violence, sister. I've been there. I understand. Okay. Sorry. I didn't know that what DV meant. I just want you to know you're on track because I can pick up with energy with people, and what I'm getting is you are getting there and you're further along than you think you are. So just keep going. But I'm not here to give you a reading, and I kind of impose that on you, and I apologize. Um, but that's the energy I'm feeling for you. So I really want you to keep going, Ruby. Okay. You're on track. That's what I'm getting because I got the stinging behind my eyes. And you know how Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium, she has certain things. You're welcome, sweetheart. You are welcome. She has certain things like this means that, this means that. Well, I have those same things, physical sensations and things that happen within my body. And it'll come out of nowhere. I'll be on the wisdom talk where it's just, I'm not even, and I'm talking to someone in my audience. I'm like, all right, someone in my audience needs to hear this. And I will talk directly to that person. They'll back channel me and they'll go, it's me. They'll, we can do private messaging on wisdom and they'll say, it's me you're talking to. And I'm like, okay. And like everything you said, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just telling you, Ruby, that's what I got for you. So keep going, sister. But let me tell you the story about manifesting my current husband. So, this was okay. So I had some cleaning up to do because I was really bitter regarding men. I was really bitter and I was carrying around some ugly feelings. And believe me, at this point, I wasn't even trying to find or attract any sort of partner. I was like, I am jacked up. I got to get this self right so that I can get in that place again because Kristen Brown loves love. I'm a Libra. I love love. I love romance. I love connection. I love cuddling. I am affectionate. I'm a big lover. Me and my little brother, man, we will smother the shit out of you with our love. Okay. So that's who I am, but I wasn't in that space. I was like, mm-mm. But I knew that that is my ultimate dream. My ultimate goal is to have a lifer that I always say slide into home base with, right off into the sunset with, whatever. Did I think that it was ever going to be perfect? No, because we're human beings. But it's someone that was, completely committed to me. So that was my ultimate goal, but I was far from it. You gave me chills. Ooh, Kelly, tell me how. Tell me where the chills came from. So anyway, what happened was I was in this terrible place and I worked on myself, kind of like Ruby's saying that she is, yeah, kind of like Kelly said, you're in a safe place. Yes. So like Ruby said that she's working on herself right now. That is, you guys, the number one best thing that we can do. The number one, especially if we have been in a toxic, narcissistic, or violent relationship. We're fractured out, where our energy is fractured out. We've lost ourselves. We don't know what end is up. Like we are literally like walking through life like, what the right? That's what we're doing. And it takes a minute to reclaim that. And this is what happened to me. My tsunami came and wiped my entire life out, my entire identity out. Everything that made me safe in life was wiped out. And I was reeling and I needed to get my footing again. And that's what I did. I got my footing. So I went through this healing work and I just knew when it was time that the right person was going to present themselves. Well, someone came in. Okay. And strangely enough, it was someone from my high school. Didn't know him, but my friends knew him. Like there was mutual friends on Facebook and things like that. And I knew that he was for all practical purposes, a good dude. He lived about an hour and a half from me. And I'm just going to tell you this. He was an OBGYN. That was a little weird for me. That was really weird for me. I had to like work on that a little bit because I was like, not sure I like that. That's just me. Other people could think it's great. But I was like, okay, weird. But anyway, that's just a funny sidebar. So I started dating this guy and he was nice and whatever. But he didn't do anything wrong. But I would go visit him. It was an hour and a half away. I'd go visit him and I'd be there for 5 minutes. He'd be asleep on the couch. Okay. It was like he was like really into his own world. He also tried to tell me how to dress. Okay. Christy Brown is very boho. All right. I am not tailored. I'm not tailored. Tailored, whoops. tailored has its place. All right. But that's not me. Oh, there we go. I'm back. So tailored has his place, and I do like it. I actually do love that, and would probably wear that if I worked in an office or whatever. But he was trying to like tell me who I needed to be. But again, he wasn't mean. He wasn't an a-hole. But there were starting to be red flags for me. So I started to ask him a lot of questions because I wanted to dig in and find out what's going on here. Well, guess what? My question asking, which he never said this, but it prompted him to break up with me. Okay, so this is person number one out of the gate after my College of Kristen. All right. But the energy was okay. He wasn't toxic. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. But yet he was not an ideal partner. But here's the most important part. I was willing to dig deeper and go, what am I seeing here? Instead of being desperate to have, oh, this person came in and he's a doctor. That didn't matter to me. I was like, what am I seeing here? What are his ultimate life's goal? How does he see me? Like I was really playing this out. And as I was questioning, right? I don't know if he energetically felt it. I don't know if he thought the same thing. I don't know if he thought my questions were too intrusive. I don't know. I don't care. But he broke up with me. And I remember feeling sad, but not because of him, because I had gone through all this work and I thought this would be a one and done, and poor me. But that lasted about 5 minutes. Meanwhile, backing up a couple months, all right, this person reached out to me on Facebook and became my friend, wanted to be my friend. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I love this person. I remember this person from high school. It's a guy. And I said yes to that friend. Well, somewhere along the line, we were talking intermittently through this. Okay. We're talking a little intermittently. We were talking first. Then that other guy came in. And then that went away. And then we started talking again. Okay. Guess who it is? It's my current husband. What you must be willing to do is to pass up meh for marvelous. I could have been into my people pleasing mode. I could have become the person I thought that Mr. OBGYN wanted. I know how to move those pieces and parts. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I could have shifted and morphed and chameleoned my way right into his life, but I had done the healing work. And I was like, I'm not here to audition for him. I'm not here to win him. He's auditioning for me. And I don't mean that in any sort of egoic way, but I had to flip the narrative. I had to flip the script of I have to win somebody to you need to win me. Show me who you are. Okay. So we got to be willing to pass up meh for marvelous and good for great. When you do that, and here's the most interesting part. I don't believe the universe tests us in a type of way that is, let's see if you're worthy. I don't believe universe does that, okay? But I do believe when we have residual energy that's catching up to us, all right? And that thing falls in again, which was somebody that I could have made it work with. I could have overlooked the pink flags. I could have and I didn't. Universe goes, here you go. I passed the test. Again, I say test lightly, okay? Because I don't believe that's a very conscious thinking thing of the universe to go, oh, the universe tests you. But it's an easy thing to understand because my old pattern presented, okay, that I could have done. I could have made that choice and I didn't. I was like, eh. So while I was figuring him out, he broke up with me. But the truth is, I was probably headed towards a breakup as well, okay? So I'm going to read through these notes real quick to see what everybody is saying. Ruby Two Shoes said same. Kelly said exactly. When you read Ruby, you gave me chills. Wow. Kelly, oh, Ruby, me too. And I needed to hear it. Oh my God, an OBGYN. Yeah. What if both people feel like the other has audition? First of all, Ruby Two Shoes, I would love for you to post what the fire and me too. I needed to hear it, what that means, because things get lost in translation when I'm talking. And if you don't mind commenting that. And Julia, what if both people feel like the other has to audition? That's freaking brilliant. Because let me tell you what audition means. Audition doesn't mean we're waiting for the other person to win us. What it means is that it's just the passive way of saying, you don't need to sell yourself to somebody. Now, they don't need to sell themselves to you either, all right? Because that's bad energy, right? They're in people pleasing, they're in chameleoning, they're in a narcissist. So when I say audition, it's just my lighthearted way of saying, don't try to sell yourself to somebody. Don't try to go, yes, I love boxing. I can't wait to go to every boxing match you have. You hate boxing. Boxing is violent. You don't like the blood on people's faces, but you're like, oh my God, yeah, me too. No, this is what I mean. Or when someone like, and I'm just going to bring this up sexually, they want you to do something sexually that you're like, no, I don't like doing that, but okay, this is what he wants. And if I don't do that, no, you are here to be your 100% authentic person, shining your gorgeous, brilliant, bright, beautiful, unique light. And you will become a beacon to your ideal partner. Because your ideal partner, first of all, when we're wearing these masks and we're trying to shift and morph and conform and be and people please, it's not number one, it's not attractive. Okay. We energetically are teaching that person that they matter more than us, and they smell it. I promise you. And this is why narcissists are attracted to that. Oh, she or he makes it all about me. Awesome. Because I want it to be all about me. In the beginning, when you start to make yourselves matter, when you show up into these relationships and you're like, nope, I don't like boxing. I'm bringing up boxing, you guys, because I remember back in the day with my first husband, when they had those, I don't even know, UFC fights. I don't even know what they're called. I'm thinking Holyfield back in those days. Um, those fights, so yeah, we're going to so-and-so's house to watch the boxing match. I'm like, okay. I hated boxing. It's violent to me. I still don't like boxing. I think it's terrible. And the cut eyes and the blood and the spitting and no. So I would this days I'd say if I was dating someone who goes, "Oh, you want to go to Bob's house and watch boxing, the UFC, whatever fight," I'd be like, no, but you go and have an amazing time. I'm going to go over here. Okay. See what I'm saying? So when you show up your authentic self, not only are they going to say, you're exactly who I wanted. I wanted some person that loves comic books. I wanted some person that loves nature and wants to walk in the rain. I love somebody that says no to me, because you bring new essence and nuance to a relationship. When you go, no, I don't want to do that, then they have to go, oh, well, what do you want to do? And you're like, I'd rather do this. And you're like, that's a great idea. See what I'm saying? So you want to be your authentic self first and foremost, because if you think you have to shift and morph to be something else, you are not in alignment with attracting your lifer. So let's keep in mind, my first two husbands, yeah, I attracted from a different vibration. Yes, it worked. Yes, it appeared like I had won the lot. My tsunami husband, I literally thought I won the lottery. I was like, this is it. I won the freaking lottery. This is my payback for all the struggles I had done. Did I win the lottery? No. I attracted him from a level of energy. He was a lot of amazing things, right? To this day, he's got a great personality. Okay. But how I won't get into the details, but it did not align. Over time, it was like the disconnect was massive, but I didn't see it because I was accepting the unacceptable. I was trying to be liked, to make sure I was the fun girl, the nice girl, the easygoing girl, the blah, 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 all the masks that I was wearing. So I attracted him from a level of those masks, which is bringing me to my next point. Let me drink some water before I tell you this next point. Then I'm going to read the notes over here. Thank you, guys. I know it might be loud with my microphone. My next point is that when I met my current husband, when I met him, and I remember I was washing my car, and I knew him in high school briefly, again, which is weird because I knew the other guy briefly in high school. But this one I actually knew just really a little bit. And the funniest thing is, you know how I knew him? We would stand in the front parking lot, as underclassmen waiting for our brothers to come out to drive us home. So we're like two, freshmen kind of staring at each other, and our brothers were friends. So we were kind of in proximity, but I don't think we actually even talked, but I knew full well who he was. I thought he was a darling as hell, cute guy, kind of shy, kind of quiet. So definitely wasn't going to reach out to me because he was kind of a quiet guy, but that was it. I wasn't looking for anything at that point, but so I remembered him from that. So anyway, he comes into my life, and so it's sort of reunionist too. Like, I was washing my car one day, hot mess, Saturday morning, and he's like, "Hey, I'm driving by." I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm washing my car at, this place." And he goes, "Oh, I'm driving by there." He's like, "Can I stop by and say hello?" I said, "Nope. No." I wasn't in a position to meet him. I wasn't in the place. I was washing my car. I didn't want to stop what I was doing, right? But old Kristen would have been like, "Oh my God, let me, do something to look cute real quick." And I couldn't say no. And you got to no. I was like, "No, no." He's like, "Well, we're going out tonight. We're going to go to this place. Do you want to go?" And I said, "Sure." I'm like, "What time?" He goes, "This time." He said 5, I think. And I go, "Nope. The earliest I could be at that place is 7, but don't wait up for me, we can meet up another time." He's like, "No, 7's fine. We'll go." And I was like, "Okay." So my point is that I was in no mad rush. I had let it go to the universe, whatever. And that to me, when he friended me on Facebook, it was just another friend, another old 10,000 person from high school that was friending me on Facebook. I didn't think anything of it. So, but my point is that as we started to hang out, okay, it was coffee. Coffee like 3 or 4 times, he was late. And here I am juggling homework and kids and this and mom and this and schedules and blah, 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 blah. And I'm there on time. And I said to him jokingly, not nicely, but I'm like, "You're a chronically late person, aren't you?" And he was like, "Well, no, no." I'm like, "You know what?" I said, "That just cuts down. I only have an hour and a half. So that just takes away from the time that we can hang out." So guess what? He stopped being late. Okay. But I didn't just go suck it up and let him be late because I felt like it was disrespectful to me. It's like I juggle a lot in my days. I have to, move a lot of parts to get to this meeting, this coffee meeting with you. And then, you can be respectful of my time. So it was like date 3. And he said it so nonchalant, not even date. This was coffee talk, you guys. It wasn't even called a date. He said real nonchalantly, he said, "What does it take to find a girl like you?" Again, oblivious. I'm like, "Well, I don't know." And I started listing off things. I'm like, "Well, treated this, so and so that, no, 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 I need a guy that's this and blah, blah, blah." Long story short, moving forward, I think it's important for you guys to know this. I did not put on a show for him. I remember this distinctly. I tell this story all the time because it's one of the major ones that stands out for me. That one time we're barely into this, and he wants to come over, and I said, "Yeah, you can come over." Um, I literally had changed into, I did hair, so I was dressed nice all day long, and I changed into my daughter's flannel pajama bottoms and some sweatshirt. So when he said and I was in a ponytail, and when he came over, all I did was brush my teeth. That's it. I had makeup smeared. I didn't care because I'm not auditioning. I'm me. I wanted a man who wanted me, not my money, not my body, not my clothes, not my butt, not my this, not my that. A person who wanted me. So if I show up, this is my value, then once again, I was going to attract a guy that is my value. Okay. No, I wanted to be in my natural form, in my natural habitat, in my natural state. And if he kept coming back, then this meant he was liking Kristen, not what Kristen could provide. The other thing, you guys, I think it is very important that I mention this to you guys. Your ideal partner, your lifer, may not come in the exact package you think they're going to come. Keep this in mind. The best relationship of my life I am in right now. We love each other dearly. We are loyal to each other. We have had our share of problems, but we work together, and we like, it's a very safe and connected relationship, okay? And it's not that it's been easy, but it's a like I look at it sometimes. By the way, today's our anniversary. Isn't that funny? But I look at it sometimes and I'm like, "Really?" Like, is something gonna happen? Because that's in the place that we are now. Okay. What was my point? Oh God, what was my point with that? Sorry, you guys, I forgot what I was saying. If you remembered, let me know in the things. Um, it'll probably come back to me. Oh, this is what it was. I was a roommate in somebody else's house. Me and my 3 kids were a roommate in somebody else's house when I met him, who was a roommate in somebody else's house. Okay. Did he look on paper like the ideal partner? Nope. This is what I mean. If we hyper focus on certain things, we're going to miss what's right in front of us. It's worth it to explore. If someone comes in and you feel like, yes, I like them. Oh, but they're a roommate and someone, he doesn't own his own home. He had just gone through a massive breakup. If you heard the story and what he did for this girl and how he went above and beyond and how she basically screwed the pooch. He was just picking himself back up again. And guess what? Her loss, my gain. Okay. So we're roommates in other people's houses and we had to work together. And guess what? You guys are going to crack up. When I was manifesting my ideal partner, and I'm not saying you need to do this. Okay. This was just me. Again, it has to be for you. I did not want a wealthy man or a rich guy rolling in money. Now he had his own stuff taken care of. He had a great job, this and that. But a lot of people are like, I want a rich guy. You know why? Because I did not want to be beholden to somebody else's money. So part of my manifestation was I want a man that we can build. This was literally it. Build our millions together. That's what I put out there. And we both had, I was doing hair at the time of meeting him and I was in the process of writing my book. And this is, right after my college of Kristen, and he was working for another person. He started a brand new business. I started a brand new business, and we have just soared from there. So don't take sometimes that what you're seeing in the physical world as, oh God, that's not them. You need to trust this. You need to trust your instinct, your intuition, what you're feeling, and take it one day at a time. Okay. So, yeah, I auditioned all the time, Julia, right? I mean, my God, I was the biggest auditioner. Didn't realize it. You're over it. Ruby, of course, I felt the connection, even though I'm behind my phone in the UK, I felt seen. Thank you. Thank you. I don't people please anymore. Very liberating moment. And you know what, Ruby? Just you saying that, you know what that tells me right there? You don't people please anymore. You're not going to attract that DV type of person anymore. You won't, because it is that energy of people pleasing that attracts that to us, because we're the overgivers. We attract the overtakers. So I want you to let that sink in. And I hope that, I never force anybody to do anything, but you guys know my book is coming out on Tuesday, and you can get it on Amazon. It's actually going to be on all major book selling sites, so you can get it anywhere. So if you have a favorite, but it is going to be it's being launched on Amazon on Tuesday at 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern time, United States. And I really invite anybody who hasn't yet to get that book. And I'm really considering, like really deeply considering, I've had too many things going on, too many moving parts for me to actually sink into this yet, but I want to start a group. I want to start some type of group where we get together and we meet and we talk about all these things, as sisterhood. And I'm kind of thinking about keeping it small, not getting it too big, like maybe 10 people at a time, because not everybody can make every meeting. But I don't know. That's something you guys are interested in. Let me know. Of course, never any pressure to buy my book or to join my group or do anything else. Okay. So let me keep going because I got a lot of stuff here. Oh, this is important. You cannot manifest a specific person. You can't say Johnny Depp. You can't say Julia's down. You cannot say, Bob in accounting has to be Bob. It absolutely. Thank you, Julia. If you're not yet signed up on my newsletter, you might want to go to my website and do that so that you will be notified when this comes into place. KristenBrown.org, if you don't know that yet. I think there's a link on my banner, and I'm sure in all my details. You think, okay. You cannot manifest a certain person. You can't, a specific person. You cannot do it. Why? Okay. Why? Trust me, I had one. I was like, him, has to be him, has to be him, has to be him, has to be him. And that sounds like one word, has to be him, has to be him, has to be him. That's what it was. I was like, oh my God, I was dead set. I was obsessing. I was not being anything, crazy like a stalker or anything like that, but I was absolutely hung up on this guy for a long time. You cannot manifest a certain person. And here's why. Free will. That's it. Move along. We all have free will. We cannot impose on somebody else's free will. We can't do it. Universe doesn't impose on our free will, by the way. We have to ask for help. Okay. We cannot impose on someone's free will. We cannot make something happen. Now, we can send them loving energy. We can send them things, but Remember, be mindful of the energy that you're going at somebody. My absolute all-time or the video that has the absolute all-time highs for me here is called Stop Chasing Someone Who Doesn't Want You. That video is basically what put my channel on the thing, on the algorithms. So many people. And that's just me sitting there talking like a mama to her children. I'm like, okay, we're gonna have a little sit down talk right here because I watch people chase people all the time. You cannot manifest a specific person. Now, that person might be really darn close to how you want to feel, how they treat you, all of those things. But here's what I need you to do. I invite you to say that person, Bob or someone better, Jeanette or someone better, Linda or someone better, Kevin or someone better. Okay. What you're doing with that, you're untying the hands of the universe. Because if you're so focused on this person, they don't want you, or they've moved on, or what have you, whatever the case may be, you're so focused on them. Universe might be trying to help you, but your energy, all your energy is going here. So when you say, God sourced universe, I really want this guy or someone better, think about or someone better. Think about that. There's someone better? You think this person's the bee's knees? Sorry, cat hair. But there's someone better? Oh my God, I take something better every day. No, I only want $100. Well, I'll have 1,000 for you. Oh, no, I only want $100, but I got 1,000 for you. Okay. This is how uni works. So when you say, I want $100 or more or better, or I want this particular thing in life or better. Okay. Universe is always going to bring you or better as long as you believe and vibrate at the level of or better. The guy I was obsessing on, you guys, I had things wrapped up in that. Okay. I had limiting beliefs that like I talked about way in the beginning of this talk. If you missed it, I had some unconscious beliefs, unconscious that I was not aware of that was wrapped up in that, why I was so obsessing on him. Okay. But in hindsight, again, his free will was like, no bueno, don't want you, Kristen. Okay. But in hindsight, I realized he was not for me. I still have fond feelings for him. He's not a bad person. But I looked back, again, back in that auditioning stage of anything you do is fine with me. Sure, that's great. Awesome. Yeah. Like me, love me. That back when I was back in that stage, I was not paying attention to what I was seeing. And the truth is that, and I've said this before, he drank a lot, he partied a lot, he was out of town a lot. His out of town, like 15 days out of the month, he was traveled for his work, did a lot of entertaining people out in bars and whatever. He had 3 children that were his priority, which he spent a lot of time with. So think about this, 15 days of the month he's home, he's spending those time with his kids and all the other work that, again, he traveled around even when he wasn't out of town. There wasn't a lot of time for me. I wouldn't have been a priority for him. Okay. So it's also mindful that you think about this when you're making your list about whether or not your man or woman has children. And if they do, what's the relationship with their children? How do you fit in to that? What is the energy when you're all together? Okay. When I manifested my current husband, I don't remember exactly, you guys. I didn't say he has no children. I might have, or I had some, I just don't remember, you guys, but he did not have any children. So he was wide open for me and my children and willing, right? And has stepped in as a wonderful stepfather to them. So know what you want. That's really the most important part. I'm circling back to way in the beginning of this talk. Know what you want. Okay, let's move on. Okay, another thing that you can do is you can script this. You can journal about this. You can write about it. I heard one time, because you know that writing can be meditative, right? It can get you into a really amazing, what time is it? Oh, sorry, I just remembered. I literally just remembered when I said that. Writer made me think of publisher, and I have a meeting with my publisher soon. So I went like, not panicking, feeling like, shit, what time is it? That just happened, but I'm okay. I'm okay. All right. So you can script it. So when you write, even if you're writing on a computer, okay, or you're right. They say writing by hand is even more beneficial because you really have to slow down to write by hand. All right. You start writing about what this person sounds like, smells like, feels like, and acting as if, what the camera? And acting as if they are already here. Get yourself immersed in their energy. Okay. Here's something else that is really super cool. Your person is looking for you too. You, specifically you, with everything that you have to offer. There is no one on this planet that is exempt from this, period. All right. Like I said in the beginning, I use the word soulmate in the thumbnail because people relate to that, but I call it dream partner or ideal partner or forever love or lifer. Okay. That's what I call these people because you may have already had a soulmate and that didn't work out, or one passed away, God forbid, you know, that happened. But you're not one and done by any means. You're not too old. Let's just knock again, limiting belief. I'm too old. Nope, you're not too old. My uncle Clyde was 90 years old, attracting women like crazy. Not my uncle, my great uncle was my mom's uncle, 90. Clyde. We used to call him Clyde the Glide because he was so smooth. Okay. You're not too old. You're not too this. You're not too that. You're not too this. It is your birthright to be loved and to exchange love with a person and to have anything you want on this planet. So if you, yeah, Clyde the Glide. So if you want something, you can have it. Abraham Hicks, ask and it is given. Okay. Ask, it is given that moment. But I also say this, sometimes we have a lead umbrella over us. So we ask, the universe delivers. It's done. It is done. It is given. Okay. There's no delay, but we have the lead umbrella over us. Okay. The lead umbrella is stopping that thing from getting in. Okay. We're not in the receiving of this thing because we are out of alignment. We are out of energetic alignment. So when you do the work to get yourself into energetic alignment, sorry, you guys, I must have hair floating around my room because now my nose is itching. I'm a hot mess over here. I don't mean to be like picking my nose on camera. I'm really not. I'm just itching it. So anyway, it's allergy season here too. So getting yourself into alignment. Now, this is so interesting because I know the second I'm in alignment, I can feel it. It is light. It is airy. There's no attachment. I have an unshakable faith. Like it's not even unshakable faith because I'm not thinking about it. I already know it's happening. It's kind of like I already know that the sun's going to come up tomorrow. You don't think about it. I already know I'm going to take my next breath, right? We don't have to really focus on those things. When you get into that area of alignment, you're just joyful now. Okay? You're grateful for what you have now. Abraham Hicks has an emotional guidance scale. Okay, it's a scale of 1 to 22 items. In fact, I'm going to go get it. It's right here on my coaching table. Okay. Here we go. This is the emotional guidance scale. Okay, I'm just going to do the top and the bottom. The top one is joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation, and gratitude. It's the highest possible energetic space you can be in. Joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation, and gratitude. Highest. The lowest, fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness. Okay. Now the emotions slightly improve as you're going up the scale. Okay. So if you're down here in fear, grief, and depression, if you move up to anger, you've actually improved your vibration, believe it or not. Even though it's still anger, you've improved your vibration. All right. And then you can move up and up and up. And then you might move from anger to pessimism. You're still moving up the scale. Get what I'm saying? But up here, in joy, knowledge, freedom, gratitude, whatever, is when we attract to us. So we're happy with the present. We're peaceful where we're at. All right. And we would like this experience. So we've let go of when, where, how, and that thing will draw to us. Okay. Let me keep moving on. Oh, yeah. Relax and have fun. That was another one of my notes I wrote here. Visualize. We talked about that earlier. Oh, yeah. This is my point I was getting to. So it's called the law of attraction, but I've secretly renamed it for myself the law of divine alignment. And I call it that because really it's about aligning energetically to the frequency of receiving that thing. And I've already explained so many ways that we can do that. Okay. Which is the acting as if, it's the 1 to 4 minutes of um, clear visualization about how you want to feel when this thing comes in, how you're going to feel when this thing is in. And it's 1 to 4 minutes a day. That's what Mike Dooley says. And then drop it. Go have fun. Unattach yourself to when this is going to happen. It is ask and it is given. But if you're watching it, like you're watching the clock, or they say a watched pot never boils. If you're just sitting here watching it, it's not going to happen. Let go. Go relax and have fun. Okay. So Julia says, I may have missed the important point, but I have a crush on a specific person. Can I manifest him? Julia, did you hear when I was saying him or someone better? Did you miss that or did you get that? Because at some point I said him or something better when I was obsessing about somebody. So you cannot manifest a specific person. Although when I was scrolling through YouTube, some people say you can. No, you can't. That is like literally against the law. It's against the law. You can't do it. It's against the energetic law because you cannot impose into other people's free will. Now, you can align yourself. You can imagine what it'd be like to be with him. You can imagine, his affections back to you. You can imagine all of these things and then say him or someone better. Okay. Just don't tie the hands of the universe. That's all I'm going to say is just don't tie the hands of the universe. All right. Let me make sure that I got all the things here. Oh, yeah. I talked about that, how if you are trying to manifest based on you're hoping that someone's going to come save you or, be your knight in shining armor or whatever, that's again the wrong energetic vibration. That's an energetic vibration of desperation and neediness, which will repel a good human being coming your way, but likely will attract a user, abuser, jerk, narcissist, or taker. Okay. I call that the whack pack, the user, abuser, jerk, narcissist, taker. I call them the whack pack. So your desperation will attract something like that to you because your energy is I'm going to over accommodate and overgive because I'm desperate. I'm going to go out of my way. And something that you need to know, we all need to know when it comes to relationships is especially men, actually men and women, if we make it too easy for them, it's not attractive. People want that energy of the work. They want to feel like they won something. Okay. I have a loved one in my life right now who has attracted the most amazing woman. And typically it's the men that want to be the hunters. But he has so basically done all the work for both of them all the time. She said, you don't give me a chance to miss you. You don't give me a chance to earn you. And she, it's kind of overwhelming and it's a little bit of unattractive. So once he heard that, he was like, oh, okay, I'm being smothering. He backed the hell up and she's like turned on like Donkey Kong. Okay. Julia. Yeah. I don't know if thinking of him specifically will attract or repel him. I find that usually when I genuinely forget about them, they come back, which is so annoying. That's it though. Do you know what you just did, Julia? You released resistance. That's exactly that right there is the energy that you want. Release them. You can think about them, just don't make it a have to. That is the energy of openness. That's the energy of abundance. Okay, really like this guy. He's so great. And I'm going to go have fun. Okay. Because anytime we're hyper focusing on something, again, we're making it just about that. We're tying the hands of universe. Yeah. Yes, Ruby says, when you let it go, it comes to you. It's true. I cannot tell you that is like 100 for 100% in my life. Anytime I've let go of something, it came. When I think about the story of my first husband, I was hot and heavy to get a boyfriend. When I finally said, why do I need a boyfriend? And I didn't just say that, like I literally felt that in my spirit. Why do I need a boyfriend? And I let it go. Guess what happened? My future husband came in. Okay. All right. Let me just read through my notes. Can put on some chapstick. All right. Clear. Don't play small. Yeah, like I said, make sure you ask the full Monty of what you want. I even went as far, you guys, to put on my list that I wanted a heterosexual. Okay. And nothing against any sort of LGBTQ. I love all people, but I wanted somebody that was heterosexual. Like he wanted a female and I wanted a male. And the reason why is because I think I attracted some people that had other things going on, and that didn't work for me. Okay, that didn't work for me. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it or I judge it, because I 100% don't. But I wanted a heterosexual, so I even went as far as to put that on my list. Um, yeah, yeah, we have to trust the universe. I'm telling you, universe has your back, you guys. There's no other way I can say that than the universe has your back. All right, let me just make sure I got all these. Focus. We're gonna focus on looks, active, clearly do believe, kind of. Yep. Yep. Looks like covered everything that I wanted to cover. So I do want to let you guys know this. And I say this in information purposes that when I did my healing work and I attracted now who is my lifer, my husband, my current husband, I was like, I really want to teach this to people. And I literally went through all my entire practices and my steps to like how I could help people. And I designed a course called Self-Love to Soulmate Masterclass. And the reason why I call it self-love is because self-love to soulmate is because when we clean up our inner world, we shift our vibration and then we attract the person that is going to treat us the way we deserve to be treated, because we are treating ourselves the way we deserve to be treated. So this is a laser focused program that is designed to heal you on a foundational level, so that when you get to the point of calling in your ideal partner, that you are actually already energetically aligned to that. It's a 6 weeks course. And I will tell you, you can put it this way. It's a 6-week course if you work one-on-one with me. It's a whole lot of fun. We have an amazing time. We dig out the dirt. We figure stuff out. We laugh. We have amazing time. And I will tell you this is 100%. This is not an exaggeration. Every client that I've took through this, by module 2, we finish module 1, they jump in to our meeting on module 2 and they're like 100% lighter, like something is already shifting in them. So we work through this course, and then by module 6 is when we do the work to call in your forever love. And I will tell you right now that I am getting I don't know, it was like a month ago, because I took a group through this, and I don't know how many women reached out to me, and it was all within a week of each other. It was very strange. And they're like, "Oh my God, guess what happens? I'm getting married. I'm engaged. I'm this, I'm that." One of the girls, this is really fascinating. I am super intuitive person, and I do not deny that anymore. And I speak loud and proud about it. I just used to let it guide me through life, but sometimes I get messages for other people. And in that group course, if you answered certain questions, you got in a drawing for a one-on-one program with me. That's when I took people through as a group. Okay. So there was the group option. And then I have my one-on-one option with me. And then there's also, now I have the option where you can just take the course yourself for $97. Okay. On my website. So there's all these options. And if you do the course by yourself for $97, you can always reach out for a single solo coaching session with me to get fine-tuned in some areas. But anyway, as this one girl had won that week's coaching session, and she's in New Zealand. And as we're talking, I said to her, "This is really interesting." I said, what I'm getting from you intuitively is that he's really close to you. Your ideal partner is really close to you, like in proximity. Like like they ride bikes a lot in New Zealand. I said, like, you've ridden your bike by him, or you've stood next to him in a coffee shop. I'm like, he's literally in your proximity. Long story short, when she reached out to me and she was like, I have to tell you this, Kristen, a darling girl. God, I love her. Um, she goes, "I got to tell you this, Kristen." She reminded me, because I forgot I said that to her. And she goes, "Guess what?" She goes, "He's so close to me that when I look out my back window, because New Zealand's kind of hilly," she goes, "he's on the top of the hill right behind me and I could see his house." So this guy was literally in her backyard. And I picked up on that intuitively. And I'm like, he's right there. Just keep going, keep doing your work, because he's going to come in. And then this is another part. She said she went on one date with him, and she was like, not sure. Right. She goes, "But I accepted a second date with him." And she was like, "Okay." And she said, I can't believe this, because this is not somebody I would have picked out of alignment, but he's perfect for me." So see how her heart was open, her mind was open, but she was willing to pass up math for marvelous. She was like, not sure about this, like me with that one guy, the OBGYN guy. She was willing to pass up math for marvelous, but she was like, yeah, there's something, So she stayed with it, and now she's getting married. She's so happy. She's like, he's everything that she had ever wanted. And she was a person like me that had the massive backstory of lopsided, dysfunctional, painful relationships all throughout her life. So, okay. The trick is not to force it. Forcing is resistant. Yep. So we have to let that thought go. Yep. Frustrating, but gets easier with practice. It absolutely does. My mantra is surrender. It is literally surrender. This mantra happened during my tsunami. It was what got me through. Just let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God. And it was such my mantra that it was so commonplace for me that my eldest daughter, when she turned the appropriate age that she could get a tattoo, her first tattoo is actually at the base of her neck in my handwriting, and it says surrender. Because if the one thing that we can do, one of the best things that we can do besides acting as if and feeling and really getting ourselves into that energetic space, plus clearing out any blocks, unconscious blocks we might have. If we don't feel that flow, we feel resistance or something going on back here. Like I talked about earlier, the person was afraid to lose their freedom, right? They had to find that block in order to release that block. So we got to, get into the energetic space of what this is going to look like, what's it's going to feel like, and then we have to surrender it. We got to give it up, give it over. Okay. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means giving over. Okay. It means here you go, God. Here you go, universe. I trust you. I know you got my back. So that's where that unwavering faith comes in, that it's going to come. It's going to be there. But I'm also going to say this, that one last thing that you can do is that if you want someone who is loyal, you need to be loyal. If you want someone who's kind, you need to be kind. If you want someone who is generous, you need to be generous. Okay. You can't go in with all of your little uptightness, not saying that any of you have this, and then expect, again, that's the energy of expecting someone to come and be all these things, but then you're not going to equally be giving that back. And guess what? That's not a soulmate partnership. That's not a lifer partnership. It's lopsided for them. See what I'm saying? So we clean up ourselves to the point where we are a shiny, bright, happy, joyful love life. We know who we are. We know what we deserve. And we say, here's my list. Act as if we already have it. People even say to do things like clear energetic space, right? Which means clean up the passenger seat of your car because he's going to be sitting there soon. Make some space in your closet. Buy some new sheets. I mean, you can do things as long as you're not doing them with attachment. If you're doing them truly, it's almost like you're tricking yourself. And that's a strange way to say it, but you're telling your brain that it's already here before it's here. And you're acting in that energy. That is what universe responds to. That's why I call it the law of divine alignment, because we are aligning with the receiving of this thing. Okay. That's just me. I change name on things. I'm a huge nicknamer too. And if you guys hang around me for any amount of time, you're all going to have nicknames on here. And the nickname's going to be weird too, because I nickname people weird stuff. Okay. So, but it's all loving, because if I nickname you, period, that means I love you. Okay. It means I like you and I'm fond of you. If you don't, it doesn't mean, like, my son's name was Mayonnaise for a while. Can I just tell you guys that? He was a little boy. It started out as little man, little Manny, little Mayonnaise. See what I mean? So it kind of like morphed, and then he doesn't care, but that's my point. So if you guys have any other questions, going on an hour and 42 minutes. So it's time for me to click off. It's lunchtime here. And if you have anything else to say, I would love if you pop a little comment down there before I time out. I'm going to send you guys a little reaction myself, because I don't often get to do this when I'm talking. Oh, let me see. Where is it? Oh, I have this tiny little slide section that I can, it's like this big that I can slide. Oh, that. All right. That's what I wanted to send you guys. Let me hit enter. Yay. That's for all you, my soul sisters and siblings and brothers and everybody else who's joined this talk today. If you guys haven't yet, I would super appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, because that helps the algorithms recognize this video and for other people so it can show up on their feeds, people that are searching this. But I also appreciate if you leave a comment after the fact, because comments on my thing activate algorithms too, get more people into my channel. And if you have someone in your life that you think would benefit from this, I know it's long, but let me tell you something. A lot of my healing journey came from me listening and re-listening to the same video. If I got something from it, I was like, okay, I got something from it, but my mind went off thinking, what did he say or she say for the last 5 minutes? So I would re-listen to things. So anytime anything resonates with you, this video, not this video, another video, somebody else's video, a podcast, and you're like, God, this feels good. I like how this has amped me up a little bit. Revisit it, because what you're doing is you're building that energy. You're sustaining a higher level of energy by continuing to have that come in, and also equally stay away from low vibe. That's one more thing. So you guys, I could talk forever about this stuff. Here's one more thing. I do not share my dreams with people that can't hold the vision for me. So if you are working on a manifestation, you got people in your life that are naysayers, negative Nellies, are like, you better be careful. Well, you know what happened last time, or, oh, you attract the worst partners. You got someone in your life that's a naysayer, negative Nelly, and they're not going to be able to hold that space from you. Zip it. Don't share with them, because if they can't see that big vision with you and be happy with you and like amp you up, right? You guys probably feel a little amped up after this, because I believe 100% in you, like 1,000% in you. I know what's coming for you. I know what's coming down the pike. I can't interfere with that because you are in charge of your own energy. But when you have someone like that that's on your team, you can share anything you want with. But for me, I tend to withhold in areas that I don't think people can support me to the level of energy that I need to be supported in. Because if I'm susceptible to doubt in that area, right? Because I haven't yet like fully released limiting blocks or limiting beliefs about the thing or myself. And if someone comes in and does this little tiny, implant of a doubt, I'm going to look at that doubt and it's going to magnify for me. So be very mindful about who you share your dreams with and whatever. If you got people in your life that are like gung ho cheerleaders, right on, keep going, keep going. And if you don't be afraid to keep it to yourself. Okay. All right. Let's see what everybody's saying. Ruby, thank you so much. I feel so much better. Ruby, I'm so glad. You are so cool. And Julia said, done and good point. And I want you guys to know how absolutely grateful I am for you. Good to be a lot more discerning. Yeah. Discernment is huge, man. Discernment, when I learned that word, that I had to be discerning with friends and with family members. I'm just talking about law of attraction stuff, not my dream, but just who I let into my energy, how much I shared, what they knew. If people couldn't hold that for me, it's not even that I didn't love them or like them anymore. I just said they're not my person for that. They're not my person for that. But this person is. So I'm going to share with this person. See what I'm saying, you guys? So you guys are the best. I really, really love when you come in here. I super, super love when you talk with me on this. Too bad we can't have you guys pop up for like 5 minutes like you can on Wisdom, where you can get up and share something or ask a question and that type of thing. But this works too. And I love YouTube because I love that. Thank you, sweetheart. I let go of a 15-year friendship because they were low vibe. Sister, that's what I'm talking. Ruby, every time you post on here, you are validating what I felt for you. When I said that you're closer than you think you are, like I kind of think you're already there. You might have a little bit to do, but you're doing some really serious work here. That's hard. That's like PhD shit right there. I let go of a 15-year relationship because they were low vibe. That's PhD. The reason why I say that is because I see Earth as a school. I see relationships as classrooms. And I would tell my daughter the other day, she did something really hard at work. I was so proud of her, my eldest daughter. And I said, that's exactly what I said to her. I said, babe, that was PhD shit right there. I'm like, you killed that. She's like, it was so hard, Mom. I'm like, but you crushed it. Okay. So that's the type of stuff, Ruby, right there. When we're like, I can't do this anymore. This is sucking me down. This is holding me down. This is, there's so much brilliance and beauty and light and energy and love and fascination and all of those amazing energies out in the universe, but I'm letting this one sit on my back. Got to get rid of that thing. So yeah, or at least limit time. I would never be so bold to tell anybody what to do, because as you guys know, as a coach, as a speaker, all the things that I do as an author, I am just here to deliver information to you guys and for you guys to decide how to do it, because we're all so different and our lives are all so different. And yes, there's no new story, but there's so many different moving parts and nuances and what's the word I'm looking? Dynamics. There's so many different dynamics because you put two people together and each one brings their own uniqueness together, right? Like this. That's a dynamic right there. You take this person and put it with this person, that's a different dynamic. This person with this person is a different dynamic, and so on. Okay. Because there's so many different dynamics. But what my job is, what I've decided my job is, no one told me to do this. What I decided my job is to help you empower you, is to help you get into that place where you can hold your own, where you know what you trust what you trust, you see yourself, you believe in yourself, and you do not let people squander that anymore because you are far too valuable and beautiful to be treated like crap. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. I don't like feeling, though, that the people from these failed relationships or friendships aren't wishing me well or bad vibes, just want to go on with my life and be resilient and not care. Okay. I don't like feeling that the people from these past relationships or friendships aren't okay. You don't like feeling that they're not wishing you well, is what I hear you saying. Like you're afraid they're over there wishing bad stuff on you. Um, Again, surrender, let go, not your business. Not your business. They can wish you all kinds of vibes. All right. I don't believe in voodoo dolls. I don't believe that they can put ick on you. You can put ick on you by concerning yourself with what they're thinking. Okay. So stop caring about it. I don't think any of us like that feeling though, Julie. I got to tell you, to think that someone's out there and wishing us, yucky or thinking bad about us or whatever. None of us like that feeling, but I will tell you this. Capital L love. I don't know, is that the right direction? Because I think the camera turns stuff. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. Send them love. Send them high vibes. That's it. Let go, let God. Send it. I have people in my life that I'm sure equally don't appreciate me as I don't them because they did crappy things to me. And anytime they come up in my noggin, I go, love. I don't want any weird, dense energy out there. So I just, okay, I picture them as an innocent child doing the best they can, and I send them love. So I know that's yeah, bad vibes after the relationship failed or guilt. Yeah, I was concerning myself with that. Oh, sweetheart, no. No, 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 no. Did you, Julia, watch my live, the one that was right before this one, like last week about shame? Healing shame of the past or something like that. Shame and guilt, kind of all that together. So you might want to watch that. I'm going to invite you to watch that if you haven't yet. I think you might have. You're on most of my lives, but yeah, girl, definitely clean that stuff up. You are so on path, Julia. You are so on path. Everything you say, all the questions you ask are always on point. Like they're all questions I've asked myself. Okay, so that's why I say I know you're on path because I see it. I see it happening. Ruby, let it die in the vine, Julia. Take a breath, smile, and step forward. And Kelly says, thank you, Kristen, and thank you, Kelly. This is why I do want a group, because right there where Ruby says, let it die in the vine, that's it. Like when we have more people behind us with this, we may not be able to do it in that moment because we're just not there yet. But when we get that support repeatedly, it helps support us until we can support ourselves. All right, you guys. All right, I'm going to go. I love being here with you guys. I could talk to you all day long. So much love to all of you. Thank you so much for joining. Please don't forget to like, share with someone you love, and comment after the fact if you don't mind. That would be brilliant. And I will see you guys next time. By the way, one more thing, because there's always one more thing. If you guys have any topics that you want me to address, please post them in the comments of one of my videos, and then I will add that to my queue. Kelly, totally off topic. How do you get past flashbacks? Flashbacks, Kelly, does this, oh, I'm out of, okay, there we go. Flashbacks, it's been awesome. Take care. I'm so grateful you did this live today. Thank you, Ruby. Take care, Ruby. Have fun in the UK. I can't wait to get to the UK. That is like on my bucket list for sure. Flashbacks, do you mean, you guys are gonna have to clarify that just so I don't want to assume I know. Does that mean where you're thinking back to the past? Yeah. If that's what you mean, say, yeah, there might be a delay where you go to places and it reminds you of the person, or you might be ruminating on a past. Is that right? Kelly, is that you, Kelly? Thumbs up. That's what you mean? Okay. Two things. One, it depends what the flashbacks are. If the flashback is guilt and shame, all that means is you need to apply forgiveness to yourself, period. That's it. You got to forgive yourself for doing the very best you could at the time with whatever information, knowledge, and wisdom you had at the time. Also, I will tell you that watching the video where I said healing Healing a history you're ashamed of, which could also mean guilt. That's the live I did last. If you guys haven't watched that, that's a really good live. Actually, I'm giving that to coaching clients that are dealing with shame right now. It's a very good live. I highly recommend you seeing that. If you are ruminating on what could be, what should have been, all right, that's going to lead to depression because you are ruminating on the past and the shoulda, coulda, woulda, which is you did the best you could at the time. Okay. What I do, and I can only tell you, like, I don't even know if this is a good tool, but you guys can take it for what it is. There's songs that come up. Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. That was the song that my first husband gave me. Okay. He said, this is my song to you. It's a beautiful song. And when I hear that song and I'm by myself, I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm in that relationship. I'm in the feelings. I'm in when it was good. I'm in it. And I allow myself to be in it. And then I say, thank you, God, for that opportunity to be with him and to have him on my path. And I let it go. I don't go, oh, I should have felt like that again, or I should have this, or I should have that, or this mistake, that mistake. All of that, water under the bridge. We can't change anything from the past, but we get to decide how we view the past. So I view my past with gratitude. Okay. I'm grateful that I met him. I'm grateful that I had my first two children with them because I wouldn't change him for the world. I'm grateful for the lessons I learned. And then I move on. Yes. Seeing memory that takes you back. Yes. Move on up. Yeah. What else? Flashbacks. Flashbacks of bad things, like when they hurt you or did bad things like that. That's just trauma that needs to be healed. Because let me tell you my definition of trauma, you guys. Trauma does not necessarily mean you have to be on a battlefield in war. Okay, because trauma embeds in the brain no matter what it is, and what it really boils down to is anything that rocked your world. Anything that rocked your internal safety, okay, that's going to embed as trauma. So if you're having like true flashbacks of like war or fighting or whatever, that's just trauma that needs to be healed, and it is 100% healable. So, oh, things that take you back. That is what you mean. Hey, Kelly, Eckhart Tolle wrote, looking to the past leads to depression. Focus on the future will make you anxious. Yes, one must be in the present. I say the exact same things. When we ruminate on the past, we are depressed. When we focus on the future or fear the future, we are going to be anxious. So the best, and this is for law of attraction too, you guys, the clear present moment, the beautiful, precious, generous present moment is what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, the generous present moment. That is where we really thrive the most. So if that happens, Kelly, I would say, or anybody else, I would say it's just mental discipline. If it takes you somewhere that doesn't feel good and takes you out of your vibe, go, I'm ruminating on the past. This is not doing me any good. You have to be your own best advocate, your own best supporter, your own best protector. So think about you as little Kelly, and little Kelly is going somewhere that is going to hurt her. You pull her back from that and you go, no, no, sweetheart, we're going this way. Okay. That's inner child work. I do it all the time to myself. I don't let myself, my inner child be treated bad whatsoever. Okay. Kelly held me back so much today. I couldn't leave my house. It was tough, but I breathed through it and got through it. Good job, Kelly. And I'm glad that you're, oh my thing again. I do this, you guys, because the focus goes away. Kelly, I'm really super glad that you were aware of it. Okay. This is how we heal. Awareness is key. If you guys listen to my podcast for 5 minutes, you're going to hear me saying it probably in every episode. Awareness is key. Awareness is key. When we know what's happening. So right now, you know, Kelly, wow, I was having a flashback and it made me feel some type of way that made me not want to go anywhere. Did you say it depressed you? I couldn't leave. Oh, I couldn't leave my house. It was tough. I breathed through it. We got through it. Okay. So yes, when it was scary, I was shaking, but I sat with it and embraced it. Thank you. Okay, I understand. Yes, it always does pass. Like Ruby's saying, I have complex PTSD, so I sympathize totally. Yep, you actually empathize. Yeah, good for taking that time. Gather yourself and then go. I relate, cleared it out. Well done, Kelly. Look at dun 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 dun. This is what the people I attract to me. Do you see what's in this group? This is what my energy attracts to this channel. And that's why I always thank you guys. I'm like, thank you. Someone said, I think it was Little Iodine said, you don't need to thank us. I'm like, oh, yeah, I do. I'm thanking you for being the energy that fills me. Okay. And this is why this is so beautiful. But back to Kelly, real quick. Kelly, your awareness is gorgeous. It's delicious. It is amazing. It is high vibe, even though it felt like it isn't, by you just being aware that I went down that path. And when you can feel that starting to come up within you again, you catch yourself and you're like starting to go down that path. Now, your neural pathways might really want to fire and go that way again, but through time, you start redirecting yourself somewhere else. Guess what happens? This becomes your new neural pathways because you will start fire and wiring in this brain. You'll start to go there and you're like, not going to do it. And you go here. So give yourself grace and compassion on this process. Okay. Because healing takes a minute. So when we know, okay, I'm doing better, I'm improving, that's all you need to do. Even if you're not one day, you're not improving, you have a shit day, that's okay too. Get back on path the next day. Abraham Hicks, who's a law of attraction people, if you don't know him, they say you're having the worst shit day of your life, go to bed. That's what Abraham says through Esther Hicks, go to bed. Like sometimes it's just not going to get any better. Just go to bed. Start over, right? Great advice. Okay, thank you, Kristen. Ruby, you're welcome. Stronger every day. Only look back to see how far you've come. Look, Ruby, girlfriend's got some wisdom. Stay on that big high frequency. Yes. Kelly, yes. It will pass. And it did. Beautiful. It did. And the one thing I've noticed, if I ever get myself into some shit energy or shit vibration or shit emotion, I just sit with it. Frustration, anger, self-doubt, whatever it is, I just sit with it. And I'm like, just come. And I allow it to come and move through me. It'll dissipate. Studies show that it takes 60 to 90 seconds to feel a full energy through to fruition. Now an emotion, but remember that's the emotion. If we're ruminating on a thought that's causing the emotion and we keep ruminating on a thought, it's going to keep causing the emotion and we keep ruminating, it's going to cause the emotion. See what I'm saying? But if you have an emotion and you just let that emotion feel it through to fruition, it's going to take 60 to 90 seconds to dissipate. Okay? Love you guys. It will pass. Happy Easter to you all. If you celebrate Easter, this is terrible. I'm so bad. I've always celebrated Easter, but I was at my in-laws on, I don't know, Thursday night for my brother-in-law's birthday. And she's like, what are we doing for Easter? I'm like, oh, when's Easter? She's like, Sunday. I'm like, oh my God, it's in 4 days. Terrible. Okay. Love you guys. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your heart with me. Thank you for supporting each other. This is what it's all about. We got to have each other's backs. And I look forward to talking to you guys next time. If you have any questions or you have an idea for a topic, please feel free to shoot me a message here, or you can email me at hello@kristenbrown.org. Much love, beloved. See you later. Bye. Yes, we lift each other up.